Pausing that. Da 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 da. Yada da da da. I try hard, but oh, wait so long. Only guy. Okay. Testing. Yeah, put this in the background. Goodness gracious. Calm down. Calm down. Okay, let's see. The chat shouldn't be interact. Okay. Oh, it's off. Okay, offline, streaming a bit. Yeah. I wonder if I can do a little bit of Take a Talk Live. I probably shouldn't have done this, for I'm gonna ruin a lot of things for me. Why are you updating? Why is TikTok Live Studio updating? You have no business updating. But I guess we will. Oh, it's so long. Hope you got, but I won't start over again. Ah. Inside my mind, deep inside my mind, way of life, way of life. Way of life, way of my life. Do. This track is like, I would put this on a playlist whenever I feel depressed, but I don't want to feel depressed. This is like the depression playlist to stop feeling depressed. Way of life. Can I go live? Can I cheat the system? Can I cheat the system? No, I don't want to play AI. Somnium Files. I am chilling today. Go live. Oh, that works. That really works? That's crazy. No video signal. That's ridiculous. You know what I can do? Window, do that. Ha 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 ha. And I'll project it. Not the chat, but the window. See how that goes. Move that up a little bit. There we go. Just hide that. There we go. That's better. Ah, come on now. Give me a second. Okay. Okay. I just gotta make sure that this is still open. I just gotta make sure everything else is over it. Okay, cool. Everything's fine. I wonder what happens if I just, you know, do something a little bit silly. Like, pop out the chat. Where would the chat pop out go? Oh, we'll just go there. Of course. Not Hayden. Not in a position to hate. So I'll just have the chat over here open like that. And have this thing open over here. But I do want to listen to Way of Life one more time. Ah, but time is good. It's goated. Come on. Play! So wait so long, we got, but I won't start over again. Okay, we're good. So innocent. Let's see how bad this lags my system. Good thing I have a reference right here. Okay, there you go. Of life, of mine. Let's see if I can block it out. Seem so innocent. To me, deep inside my mind. Deep inside my mind. Way of life. Let's do a little bit of overlapping over here. Such a perfect depression song. I had to run it back. Before anybody asks, no, I'm not a good artist. I'm not a good artist. I draw because it's what I do. It's what I know. I feel like I know how to do it. Other people say that I'm good at it, so I'm like, you know what, I'll just do it. I think this needs to be closer. Probably needs to be thinner too. I'm just going off of vibes right now. Like this is like a bad idea to stream, because you know everybody has work. And here I am, unemployed, drawing these comics. Got a notification somewhere. Oh, there it is. Oh. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Wow, this production's pretty good. I haven't noticed it. Yeah, I just gotta put my phone up. One thing I'm going to miss now that summer is over is just walking without feeling like I'm going to run into like some child bothering me. There we go. Anybody in the chat, feel free to say hi. You know, because I'm here. I'm live. Right, now how did I do this? Nah, that's fair. Yep. Stretch. I have not streamed on TikTok in a while. Quiet you. Hey, LeMay, what's going on? Long time, no see. College is kicking my butt. Hey, that's what college is for. What you doing in college? What you learning? Networking. For real. I've been trying to figure out how to network. Or just like connect with people in my area. Because I've kind of gotten to the point in this creative journey that I don't think that I'll be able to go where I think I'll be able to go, or where I want to go, just by doing things on my own. I think that era of the internet is just over. You know what I mean? So, and when I try to like network with people, people aren't really into what I'm doing or what I have to offer. Because like where I am is not really a it's not really an entertainment hub. I know people would say like, yo, you got to go to Miami, you got to go to New York or Texas or what have you to do what I'm doing. However, I just kind of gone to the point where I realized that graphic novels is just not a Western comics and manga, whatever. It's just not a Western thing. And if I want to make money doing it, I have to get a publisher. Or I just kind of have to get a publisher. That's what it feels like. But I'm not really trying to get a publisher at all. Well, I'm not making an effort of it. My friend Matt is. I just don't like the whole game of applying and being rejected. That's just not fun to me. And like everybody keeps saying like try and apply, get rejected, it's all part of the game, and I'm like, dude, when we going to be real about the fact that it's just nepotism? Like I guess it's all literally just nepotism. Like the only way that people will pay attention to you is if they like you or they want to if they just like you or if they know you. So right now I'm gonna try to like build my nepotism bucks, my nepo points. Or not, or I'm either going to try it or just like not really bother and just go outside again. Because I've been trying to like network for a while, and I realized that's just hard for me to like spark conversations in areas that are meant to like facilitate connection, you know. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'll just stick to what I know. Wait, you said networking. What? They have classes for networking? That's what I noticed. Computers, okay. Computer networking, okay. Or just networking to get into the computer field. How to build computer networking. Okay, cool. Okay. That's what you meant. That's what you meant. Real. You trying to learn how to build your own server and such like that? You're trying to build their ranks to go to Google and finally throw that magnet in their servers to shut everything down. Just like the end of Cyberpunk 2077. The lone hero that frees us from the internet. I'm for it. Man. But yeah, today's just been an alright day. I can't complain too much, you know? I started to, I decided to, like, just stream, because I'm not too bogged down by commissions anymore. And I've been trying to make a new cover for Purgatory Academy. Instead of like putting everything into like book 1 and book 2, I'm gonna combine them and add a library of my thumbnails at the end, and just make a call it like the Purgatory Academy duology. Like, yeah, I could make book 3, right? Because book 3 is already written. It's just the lack of an audience of people who are willing to buy it that's preventing me to take it seriously. And besides, I'm kind of like jumping back and forth between wanting to continue book 3 and actually finishing the first thing of first volume of Metal Hero. Let's Go Metal Hero. Realistically, I'll finish the first volume of Let's Go Metal Hero first. I'm just doing this because I was thinking about making a physical version that of Purgatory Academy that includes the thumbnails of book 1 and 2. And instead of like re-releasing 1 and 2 separately, I noticed that people would usually buy book 1 and like leave it at that. But I think book 2 is really where it's at, where like the real formula of what I want to write Purgatory Academy takes place, and most people don't even get there. So I'm making the duology that kind of forces people to read read what I really want to do in Purgatory Academy with like the duology. So instead of like splurging $50 for like both of the books, you get to pay $30 for both of the books, plus the thumbnails and all the bonus content. You know what I'm saying? With all the bonus content. And plus, I wanted to make I want to make more covers in the style of like movie, in the style of like movie covers, movie box art. That's why this one looks like a movie poster. Actually, this one was a heavily referenced a Predator poster, a fan made Predator poster. In terms of like character placement, the Purgatory Academy duology would be over here. Like Mason McKinney would be up here. Or Purgatory Academy duology would be up here. Like, yeah. Purgatory Academy duology would be up here. Mason McKinney would be over here. Oh, yeah. IG, I guess. I guess. And one thing that I also noticed that I don't do with my books, I don't include a table of contents. So I'm like, who cares? Who cares about the table of contents? Tense. Dog. It's a visual book. It's a visual medium. You can just like flip through and realize, oh yeah, it's right here. Or get a bookmark. Table of contents the table of contents are a joke, dude. Who cares? Random beef with the table of contents. I never used a table of contents for a fiction book. Yeah, it's so bizarre. I remember using it learning how to create a table of contents from a what kind of my graphic design and advertising class back when I was in college. I remember we had to like make something like that, and I'm like, I forgot that books even have those. Because they're so worthless. I just get a bookmark, and I just get a bookmark. But it makes sense when you're trying to like read a scholarly book, and you want to find, and you're just skimming through like the chapters, like what chapters like piques your interest the most. But for me, I'm like, dog, just give me, I'm here for the ride. Okay. But yeah, my current arc right now, I'm kind of like post fame arc, you know, or at least at post getting serious money from comics arc, because I don't think that's gonna happen. Like all those hopes and dreams have been like crushed. Like, theoretically, I have an idea of like how to do it, how to make it, and how other people can make it. But the reality of it is, I just don't want to do it. And I don't want to do it for the same reason why I don't want to do like regular 9 to 5 stuff. You know what I mean? Like with the whole game of YouTube, it's all about talking about popular people's places and things, right? And I hate that. I hate talking about things. I hate talking about things. I hate making reviews. I hate making videos first and foremost. This guy looks like a super villain. Yeah, because he's literally Lucifer. He's literally Satan. I've been drawing all of these characters from memory, by the way. except for Tariq over here. I had to have a reference. Right here. He's not that bad. Like he got daddy issues, and that daddy issues made him rebel against the ultimate form of good. It's kind of bad, pretty bad. Understandable, but pretty bad. IMO. I think that's what makes like compelling villains. I'm sure someone can. You're not the one. I'm gonna tell you. I think that's like a very propelling thing about Lucifer. Is like someone can fix him, but like his whole character is like, how can you fix somebody that don't think that does not think that they're broken to begin with? How can you convince someone so arrogant that they will go against the ultimate good and think that they're right? How can you fix that? And literally, the person that thinks everyone else is the problem but me. And I think that's a very interesting character. With the unfathomable amounts of violence and cruelty. Yeah, you gotta beat it out of him. Real. That's kind of funny. It's kind of like in this story where like he kind of tells the students like their first step to freedom is to kill him. Lucifer's like, yo, you kids are kind of in purgatory right now. The main way to get out of the first step out of purgatory is to kill me. It's to kill Lucifer. Because in Purgatory Academy, he's like the head. He's basically the face, and he's like, y'all gotta rebel, be the ultimate form of rebellion, embrace rebellion. in order to obtain your freedom. Something like that. And the funny thing, they got a pickle Lucifer's the vinegar. Huh. I've never heard that. I never heard that phrase before. That sounds like that. It sounds like that phrasing should be they got themselves in a their cucumbers. They're cucumbers, and Lucifer's the vinegar. Gotta strain out the liquid first. Real. To get it in a pickle is common expression saying in a tough situation. But what does the vinegar have to do? What does the vinegar have to do with anything? I guess the vinegar is the key ingredient that turns cucumbers into said pickle. Okay, I'm thinking too much. Put you in a trance. Well, that's an extension of it, so I could play it. So I could play on words. Okay. I feel that. Da, 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 da. But yeah, the one thing about this story though is this character Travis. Wait, what show or thing are these characters from? Oh, they're from my comic called, or manga, you know, that I call Purgatory Academy. Right here. I'm making the cover for book 1 and 2 and putting it together to make a duology. And with that duology, I love to add things like behind the scenes stuff that shows the thumbnails, and author's notes that shows people where I got these ideas from, what I want to, the message I want to portray in every chapter. And the thing that I'm adding with the duology are the thumbnails of every page. The thumbnails of every page. Because my thumbnails look like this. Right? Yeah. You. And my thumbnails look like this, right? So I scanned everything into my printer and adding it into the books. And right now, it's all done. It's around like over 400 pages. So what I'm going to try to do is ship it off to Amazon and sell it for like $30. Because one thing that I noticed is for a while I was selling Purgatory Academy and Flea and Farmers Markets. I would have like both of the books, but everybody would just buy book 1. But what I really want, like the thing that I really like in Purgatory Academy shows itself in book 2. But people don't get to the second book because like they're like because like the first book is like is just good enough for them. And I'm like, no, what I really want to say is in book 2. What I really want to do with this story is in book 2, but that's why I'm doing the duology. People always come like people usually come back to me and they say that they like book 1. And I'm like, that's great that people like it. But I get better. I know, like I get better. So this is a ploy to trick people into reading what I really want to do. So basically, you didn't put enough of a hook about the big thing in the first book. I mean, not really. I mean, it could be that, right? But after selling for so many for about a year or two, people don't follow up, and the amount of books people read after they buy, you don't think that it'll be that many, right? Because I remember I was at a con convention, right? And I was going around with like a see-through backpack and a sign that said "Ask me about my comics" taped to my shirt, right? And I remember I was like talking to a guy and like two girls, they asked me about my comics, and I like did the whole thing. I ran down the pitch, gave him my card, and they're like, "Oh wait, you're the creator of Purgatory Academy. Yeah, I've seen it. My friend knows your comic." And they said that they had like a Discord group where they would have like theories about what's happening in the comic. And I was like, that's pretty weird because I don't know about it. People don't really reach out. Like, you would think if people like really like it, they would like reach out, right? But people don't. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's like yeah. I would say yeah. It's kind of like I don't have a really strong hook to like encourage people to follow me on socials, to like email me about what they think of the book, right? But yeah, there is that. I forgot like what the statistic is, but people usually don't read. People usually don't read books that they buy. A lot of the times, it's coming from a sense of they just know who I am. I tell them my message, and they want to support. And it usually like begins and ends there. Hook was a wrong word, maybe. I meant somehow like showing off the thing that you like in the first one. Yeah, that's also like that. It's also that. Because my first book was, yes, continue. I like you with Todai Dorm. Anyway. Yeah, because like the first book of Purgatory Academy, it was literally the first comic book that I've written, right? And illustrated and X, Y, and Z, right? So I was very much feeling out what I wanted the story, like the formula of the story, and just storytelling in general. People saying that it's a really cool thing for my first book was really encouraging, right? So it wasn't until the second book that I knew I got into like the rhythm, the formula of how I wanted to write it. Give me a second. There we go. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, it wasn't until the second book that I got into the rhythm. And on the third book, I already finished writing the third book. The third book is like done in terms of writing. In terms of thumbnails, I'm up to like halfway. I'm like almost halfway done with thumbnails. But I stopped doing the thumbnails because I got into like a depression a little bit because I was thinking like, why am I writing to a brick wall? Why am I speaking to a brick wall? You know what I mean? Because when I post things online, it's extremely difficult to find an audience. And there is a way to do it on YouTube, but the way that I know how to do it on YouTube is just talking about popular manga, popular comics, and then latch my thing onto it, saying, hell yeah, hey, if you liked my review and you think like I have a good analysis on story, check out my story, Purgatory Academy, X, Y, and Z, right? But I hate I just really, really, really hate making videos. I just don't like it anymore. Mostly because I've been doing, I think after translating my comics into a motion comic and just knowing how like the YouTube algorithm works, I'm like, I don't think this is cool. Yeah, the internet is likely super saturated right now and everyone wanting attention or sales, so your thing won't do as good even if it's good. Yeah. And that's why, and I've kind of I've been awakened to, if you really want to get anywhere, it has to be through nepotism. Unfortunately, it has to be through nepotism. The age of meritocracy is over. It's so well on the internet. On the internet, the age of meritocracy is so over. It really is about who likes you, like who likes you, and who wants you to succeed. I can have like a lot of people want to see me succeed, but I'm pretty sure everybody who like I'm like live streaming on like TikTok right now, and I probably have like 5 people dipping in and out. Like right now, I have zero concurrent viewers on TikTok, right? And I'm pretty sure a lot of these people passively, they will say that they want to see me succeed because it's a nice thought to have. But paying for that, they're gonna be like, no. I hope you find the right person, though. It's like that congruently. And the only people that have like substantial success, like off the bat, are people who have established audiences already. Like your Corey Kinchins, like your Eric Julys. And unless I'm able to either have someone who can co-sign what I do with an audience that will like will compensate me for making all these works that's really cool, or I build an audience myself, and an audience that is loyal and will want to be provide patronage for these works. I'm out of luck, you know. Yeah, it's a really weird thing. The overwhelming support on the internet without any substantial sales behind it. Yeah, it's very gaslighting, you know? It's really gaslighting. Like everybody's saying, like, yo, man, this is so good. And I'm like, yeah, thanks. Are you gonna put some money behind it? They're like, no, money's kinda tight, which I'm like, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I get it. Recession and all that. So that's why I'm kind of for a while I was thinking about a different strategy of doing my newsletter, right? And on my newsletter, I'm really bad at keeping on top of it, but I've been like posting like 5 panels. Like 5 panels every other day and running ads on like Facebook Marketplace to get emails, to gather people's emails. And when they gather their emails, I can put those emails into my newsletter. And from my new and I would post like every other day for a month, and I can check on my emails, like how many people are actually opening it and how many people are not, and how many people are actually opening it. And like after that month, I would like delete the people who aren't even opening it to see how I can do X, Y, and Z. How like I can grow an audience of people who are actually loyal or actually opening up the emails. So you're building a loyal following. That's the idea. That's the idea. Sorry to distract you from your work, by the way. No, this is why I stream. This is literally why I stream. If I didn't want to talk to anybody, I would not, not stream. When I don't stream, that's when I'm like in focus mode. But when I do stream, that's when I want to talk to people. Because truth be told, quiet is kept, I don't go out that much. And like anytime a person like shows up on my stream and says hi, I'm ecstatic. I love doing that because I don't like talking to myself. Well, I'm okay with talking to myself, but I like talking to people. Oh my gosh, welcome back, Sketch. Bro, I got sick by Trip. Yo, Sketch got the con gunk. Rest in peace, Sketch. You got the con gunk. That sucks. Dude, I've been there. I've been there. Oh yeah, I keep listening to the soundtrack of Persona 3. Like Portable specifically, and I'm like, dude, freaking, I'm so mad I didn't say Persona 3 was my favorite game narrative of all time. First time it ever happened for me. Rarely ever get sick. Yeah, you rarely get sick. Hmm. Well, that's true. I barely get sick. But I live in a bubble. That's my thing. Persona 3 music is a bop. Dude, I've been listening to like A Way of Life for for on repeat for a while. It is literally depression music. I never felt like so miserable. Oh yeah, I also listened to this for a while. This is funny. I rarely listen to random internet music mashups, but this is pretty good. Wait, okay. Do do you do book panel posts to attract new people, or book panel posts? What do you mean book panel? Like, I think you mean like, do I post panels of my book, or do I have like convention panels? What do you mean by that? But if you're talking about like posting panels of my book, yes. I mean, like, you have a cool panel in the book. Yeah. Um, I try to keep on top of that, but uh, persistency is so bad for me. This is bringing me back to 2008. Real. This song. This is so not serious. I know. Yeah, like I noticed my new challenge right now is fighting my own self doubt and like breaking through my so-called depression. I really hate using like depression because it's like I feel like depression is like a very serious thing. And I had a feeling like for a while. I just had a feeling of just like not wanting to do anything because I just didn't see the point of it. Like I didn't. It's like a point that I didn't even want to help myself, like get better or just like work on the comic or just be productive because I'm like, why would I want to do that? Because like every time I work on this thing, like a story is like a narrative. A narrative is a conversation between the audience and the storyteller. The storyteller being me and the audience being you guys, right? And when I'm telling a story to an empty room, I'm not doing anything out that I can't do outside of writing in a journal. You know what I mean? I have a theory that strings together some of the stuff you said. If you care to hear it, yeah, feel free. I'm down for it. Worth fighting for? Why I have to scream? Dog, I remember way back in the day, I had an MP3 player and like Linkin Park and the Black Eyed Peas. It was just Philip, um, Linkin Park, the Black Eyed Peas, and random songs from Guitar Hero, not rock, yeah, from Rock Band. Hello, Abby the Boyd. What's going on, Abby the Boyd? Not the Black Eyed. No, it was only from. I remember I had the album The End. That was the only album of the Black Eyed Peas that I've listened to. So your YouTube channel is about related topics and hooks into your book. which means the audience won't be interested in the book. The lack of their investment can lead to your feelings like you're talking to no one. That's true. Looks into my book. I'm trying to dissect, right? What you're saying. So your YouTube channel is about related topics and hooks to your book. Yeah, we can say that. Which means the audience won't be as interested in the book. Yeah, because I have bad hooks. I have bad hooks. Maybe a channel focused on book lore around what's inside them would get a loyal following, maybe. Okay. I'm making a lot of faces because that's not me. That's not me being judgmental. That's just how I am. I remember I had I gotta look. I remember I written down my life, my pride is broken. Yeah. I write in these notebooks all the time, right? I go to the dollar store. I go to the dollar store, I buy these, and I had a book like this that I've written down topic ideas for my lore. That's not a bad idea. Sometimes I need to hear an idea coming from someone else. Like, I have to have that idea, and I have to hear it again, probably twice or 3 times, to might do it. Now that I hear it again, I'm like, maybe I'll do that. Persona 3 music. Yeah. Obby, I remember months ago you said, what is the best video game story? I failed to mention Persona 3. I think Persona 3 is up there. Very high. Whenever you beat Somnia Files, you should listen to that soundtrack. Okay. I'm halfway through Metaphor Fantasio now. Again with the Metaphor Fantasio talk. Again and again. One day Sketch is gonna buy me Metaphor Fantasio, and I'm just gonna tear it apart just because of you. I'm gonna rip it apart. I preemptively dislike Metaphor Fantasio because of you, Obby. It's all your fault. Oh my. Oh my gosh. When and where? Anytime, Obby. There's a channel I know called Monster Garden where he grew really slowly, but everyone there is into his lore. And his channel is later focused on it. His content is exploring his world building. He's like, oh yeah, yes. We must make an enemy out of Obby. Let me look at that channel real quick. That's gonna be great. That's gonna be wonderful. Okay, let's see. Hurt like you. You wanna share what you've been through. It was called. I gotta look back. I'm trying to look back and like sing the name of. Okay, Monster Garden. That's what you said. You can't stay long trying to recover. Actually, home during a street front. Okay. Baby, 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 baby. Type dick. No, it's all I got left. That's what that's just said. I just feel like to have a bucket back in my head. With basically holes inside. Basically close my eyes. It's not my fault. Ain't what you say. Big swim. me right beside your skin. It's like a paranoid looking over my back. It's like a whirlwind inside of my head. It's like a can't stop, but I'm feeling within. Inside, it's right beneath the skin. It's like I'm paranoid. Yeah, this is interesting. I'll subscribe to this this guy, and I'll see if I can imitate. If I can imitate anything. Like, imitate how he does it, right? I guess I can, like, try to... If I wanted to imitate Monster Garden, just by looking at his channel on the surface level, right? Oh, I'm sorry. I was peeking. I was yelling. I was speaking. Just skin. But what I would do is probably like have like an 8-minute video, probably talking about how long are his videos. Yeah, I would like have like 8 to 10 minute video talking about every character, like where they are, their philosophy, what they want to do. Probably what I want to do with them. With their story. I mean, man, I hate giving advice because I know how much work goes into a business and it feels so dirty somehow. I mean, people have different opinions on it, right? I think when a lot of people try to give advice, I guess like my pet peeve when it comes to like giving advice, people don't listen first. They always say you should do X, Y, and Z. You should do this. You should do that. You should do La La Land, whatever. And it's annoying because everybody tells me like what you should do, but they never ask like what did you do? Like what worked, what didn't work. You know what I mean? Like people think that they have the answer. Like I have an issue and they think they have the answer without me like reverberating my problems, my issue. Like you know, right? They don't generally try to be in your shoes or thinking. Yeah, because I remember I was like, I think one interaction I had that kind of made me stop like vending person to person. Like this, I was like talking to this one guy and he was like, yo, this is good. Have you tried reaching out to an animation studio to like get your comics animated? And I was like telling him that's not really how it works. You have to be you have to have a successful IP for them to like throw money at it, because it's easier for them to have like a built-in audience to sell to, because animation is a product, and if the product doesn't sell well, no one's going to want to animate it to want to put a group behind it and animate it. And then he was like, why don't you put it on YouTube? And I was like, yeah, I did try to put it on YouTube. The problem is you have to find out a way to get people to like it. And on YouTube, people like they jump in and then they jump out. They have no real connection to any of these characters or these stories that I'm just like pseudo animating and putting on there. So that's the main problem that I have. And then he's like, why don't you collaborate with people? And I'm like, yeah, I tried collaborating with people in terms of like getting voice actors on a project, having a podcast, and like joining other creatives and other creatives on there that are bigger than me, smaller than me, and they don't really do that much to grow the channel. And then he's like, why don't you do, yeah, like every time it was like, I remember those are the main things. And then he was like, wow, brother, it seems like you have the answers to everything, yet you're still here. And I'm like, cool, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I think that really irked me. That really irked me, like, at the end of the day. I don't know what emotion that I felt at that moment. Because I was like, is he right? Like, should I expect more? Like, am I, like, stuck here? Wow, brother. Yeah. It was like, wow. He basically said, yeah, wow. It seems like you have all these answers, yet you're still here. Yet you're not making like $1,000, $1 million off of your stories. And I was like, dude, it's I basically broke down how difficult this is in every layer. I like like everything that he says, like, yo, why don't you just do that? And I'm like, well, here's the main thing, like why they wouldn't do it. Oh yeah, and the last one was like, why don't you get like a publisher? And I'm like, I'm sorry. I hate being told no. The reason why I don't go to a publisher is because I know I'm going to get rejected to the point that it's just not really a good. I don't think it's a good investment of my time. Maybe the emotion is invalidated, which would play to your self doubt. And if I remember correctly, that's you mentioned that. Validate, like being an artist. My intrinsic emotion to that is like I don't care about validation because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, I want to make my comics, which is a product, and make my comics which is a product, and I want that product to generate a revenue to the point that covers my expenses of living. That's literally what I want to do. As soon as that happens, I would consider this comic as a success. Like making comics being a success. As soon as it covers the monthly expenses of living, right? With that being said, I just haven't gotten there. Some days it's a success. Other days it's not. To the point where every time I think about scaling it, I just either don't know how to do it or it's falls upon deaf ears. If someone gave me advice, I thought about it and explained why it wouldn't work, and then they say, "Yeah, wow, oh yeah." I say, "Wow, brother," because like the guy was an old head. He was unk. He was an unk. I mean, I'm an unk. Well, he was older than me. He was like, why aren't you here? And I think like when I explain my troubles, it sounds like I have like validation issues, an issue with validation, but I don't think it's about. I don't think it's about validation. I feel like because I'm on social media, because I'm in a position of no one's going to care about your whatever you make unless they know you. It sounds like I have to be validated, but in reality, that's just how selling things on the internet works. You have to be a public. It feels like you have to be somewhat of a public figure, in order to have a chance of selling like products like these. Let me read this. Well, you clearly have all the answers. It would make me feel a bit invalidated, as if everything I tried was pointless in their eyes, even if I don't feel that it was. And it's kind of funny. It really is the type of feedback that veils itself in construction, right? Like when you talk to somebody that you put your guard down with them, and you try to like break down like what's going on and why things don't work, and in the end they just like like they throw away that vulnerability. They just like slide it to the like put it to the side and say like, well, you're not listening to me, so and I'm like, I am listening to you. I am listening to you. I'm telling you why it doesn't work. And then at the end of the day, it's like, wow, I'm like, oh, thanks. I guess that was my fault for being open with you. But not yeah. Yeah, right, yeah. They try to gain control under your project disguised as constructive criticism. Yeah. And it's usually like stuff like that, stuff like that that hurts the most. I won't say that I was hurt real. Well, I guess I was. It did something to me because like I stopped like going out vending for a while because of that. Because like if people are like openly antagonistic, that's when my brain understands that they're being antagonistic, and I can just like not take whatever they say seriously at all. But as soon as I feel like they're being genuine, and then it just gets, and then like they just turn that on me, then I'm like, oh wow, that my guard's been down. Like maybe they have some, maybe they're right about something, even though they honestly weren't. They just proved how like little they know. After that, to me, after a while, what? After that happened to me, I just stopped listening to advice for a while. Yeah, I just wish it was. Yeah, I just wish. I wouldn't say I wish it was easier, but it is very much. Because I know it. I know, like I understand how to make it. It's just the answer is just, do I really want to? And I guess I could try making a video talking about my comics. I could make a video talking about like the characters, the setting, the lore, the other stuff, and see if people can really appreciate what's going on with that. Oh yeah, and also what kind of stopped me from like doing things online was like a what was it? A creator I used to, I wouldn't say I orbited around him, but he was like what was it? He was a creator that I looked up to in a way because of how vocal he was with like the issues of like the Western comic scene. But after I got like a little bit too close to him, I was like, I just realized that it wasn't worth it. We were just completely chasing after different things. Actually, no, not really that. It was because of me not being like celebrity status, or I'm not making like $1 million off of my comics. I knew that everything, all my business ideas that I would take from other um, industries and say maybe we can add that to the indie comic space, the indie manga space, or whatever. I was just dismissed because I just don't have the numbers to back anything up. And everything I was just saying was like basic business 101, basic business knowledge 101, business knowledge and philosophy. And I was just thrown to the wayside because I just didn't have the numbers. You have some cool thumbnails on your YouTube, by the way, like the Reaper Chapter 3 one and the target audience one. Thing, I I basically did a crash course on a thumbnails. I don't well I don't, when I mean crash course, I didn't mean I was teaching how to make thumbnails. I basically had an idea where I would just like turn everything, my motion comics, into, I chop my motion comics up into shorts, and I would look at the analytics of my shorts. Hold up, let me drink. I filled a tequila bottle with water. Yeah. So yeah, I don't even know how we got this tequila bottle. Anyway, but what I did was I got a I put all my motion comics into shorts, and what I did with my shorts, I looked at the analytics and see like which shorts were people responding to the most positively, and then I would like go back to the original videos, and I would just like make clips of the most liked shorts, and I would just like post them on YouTube and like have a playlist called like the best of Studio Maison's comics, and I think I had like 50 clips 50 clips, and I would just make thumbnails for every clip. And when I was doing that, it was basically a crash course of me making 50 thumbnails, you know, of like how can I find like the most visually engaging part of of this a of this clip and turn it into a thumbnail. And that didn't really do I mean that did all right. That did all right, you know. Didn't do what I wanted to do, but it was a good exercise of like making how to make engaging thumbnails. I also found it funny how when I was doing that, uh, the I think one character from my comics um would be one character in my comics would always guarantee views. It felt like it. She always guaranteed views, and it was the mother character of one of my characters, Sarah from Chimera Island. It was like a rabbit girl. She had a mother that was like a rabbit woman that kind of looked like her, but she had like more mature features, like aged features, and she like that was like every time she was in the thumbnail, people would click on it. And I'm like, all right, I think I found my thirst trap character. I think I discovered the thirst trap character. Or like there must be something that the YouTube audience likes about that mature rabbit. how I put a rabbit and MILF in my comic book. Yeah. I wasn't even thinking it's so funny, I wasn't even thinking about that. You know what's the funniest thing about like how I design characters? I think after Purgatory Academy, book two, well, for Chimera Island, actually, I don't really think about the design of characters that much. It's very Toriyama esque, where I'm like, I draw a character once, and that's pretty much their design for the rest of the series until I feel like changing it, right? But yeah, I think the YouTube audience likes the Rapid MILF character, so so uh that's kind of funny. But yeah. So I like to think that I have a solid idea of making thumbnails, but with the with my understanding of like how YouTube works, it is like popular people's places or things. And if I'm able to actually, what I've been looking for the most when it comes to like making YouTube videos would be interactions. Like if people commented saying like, "Yo, this is good" or "This sucks," I'd be like, "Okay, cool. I'm going somewhere." Because I want to have that conversation. It sucks that like I don't know I don't it sucks that sounds like I'm looking for validation or attention. I'm just trying to look for a conversation. That's basically it. Like making content that people will want to conversate with. But maybe I can just like write essays about my characters, and that'll be enough. I mean, also in the meantime, I'm trying to get into the film and TV industry by being a writer. And what I'm doing is I'm writing spec scripts with my friend, the co-author, the co-creator of Let's Go Metal Hero and Just a Reaper. So we're writing spec scripts for what was it? Looking up your channel, I can see you started to put better and better hooks in the titles and thumbnails. Earlier, you were just saying stuff with no intrigue. Yeah. You know that meme? Maybe it's just the process you'll get there, continuing it and iterating. Yeah. The really tough parts is just like making postings with like no comments or like no interactions. Like I can't really do things with likes. You know, if I'm not like interacting with people, the only thing I can interact with are the whatchamacallit, the analytics. And the analytics kind of means nothing if you don't know what it means. But when I look at my analytics, it just says like my videos are just not interesting. And I refuse to like go to a YouTube guru and pay them like $100 just to tell me to use TubeBuddy. You ask stuff in the videos that people can write to. By the way, nice idea, keeping a pinned comment question. I think my most recent video, like the One Piece one, I probably do. I probably don't. That's probably a good idea. I most often find myself commenting when the YouTube asks something straight up. I've written like 19,000 comments on YouTube. Like, what questions do you usually respond to that you find yourself like responding to? Hey, hey, That's not hyperbole. I believe you. I like making Lucifer look like he has age. No. You know what I remember every time I would go out, I would sell stickers of like character of like these characters. And like the characters I would sell out the most would be Travis and Lucifer. Like people would always like get the Travis or Lucifer sticker. Like they are the most popular characters by design. By going off of their design. I like Flyman. I like Flyman a lot. But Flyman, I think Flyman is just off-putting to a lot of people. Like, I'm like, no. No, I know. The Fly Guy is so kawaii. I want a plushie of Flyman. I would get a plushie of Flyman. I most often respond to philosophical or technical questions about the topic of the video. So if there's something about the decline of the U.S. economy, I'll probably answer about how people are doing nowadays, day to day, and likely causes. Okay. Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Like there are very few characters I would get plushies of because I still as an adult I still don't understand what's the appeal of like getting plushies. Because I remember there was like a craze of everybody like just getting plushies and I'm like, why? Aren't you an adult? Oh yeah, and like Lucifer being like also being loosely based off a handsome Jack. It's kind of dope. I like that. The answer to that question is no. Wait, I forgot what question I was asking. Most people are just taller and living in their own head and out of their inner child instead of inner adult. I agree, but I forgot what the question was. Oh, you're an adult? Oh, okay. 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 Let's see. Oh yeah, freaking this song's from like the Gantz anime. Oh, it was featured it's the intro to Gantz. Gantz is a very interesting manga, but the anime is so slow. I don't recommend the anime to anybody just because of how slow it is for no reason. Okay, let me see. Let me see what I left off of. Like I might need a reference for Beelzebub. I also love the detail that he has like these fly wings on his back, but he doesn't fly. He never flies. I try to eat my cactus fruit while watching this, but I've eaten two out of the four since because they're so hard to eat without through the tough seeds. Oh, okay. Oh, this is kind of dope. I didn't know. I haven't heard of cactus fruit before. Dude, I am so livid. Also called picky prickly pear. Okay. Commonly eaten in Italy, but I found some in my local store. Oh, that's dope. I mostly eat from the whatchamacallit. The whatchamacallit. The food pantry. Honestly, before I would like buy groceries myself, but after like going to the food pantry for several months and having like months worth of groceries, not months, but like 1 month worth of groceries just picked out for me. I'm like, holy crap. I can just I don't have to go to grocery store. I don't have to go to the grocery store because I hate grocery shopping. I hate buying groceries. Oh wait, no. I kind of always remember that I like the way that his hair kind of spirals. So it's like this. I work next to a supermarket, so if I'm not careful, my wallet slowly begins to cry itself to sleep at night. Oh yeah, dude, I gotta kind of slow down when it comes to like getting sweets. I feel like I have a sugar addiction. Angels of Renaissance. Yo, what's up, Ralph? What's going on? We have an everything addiction. I like sugar though. sugar is sugar is my addiction, specifically mine. Like I don't go to the grocery store. I go to the dollar store, and every time I go to the dollar store, I would like buy some Fago, like a 4 pack of Fago. And I think recently, after I went to this after I came back from Seattle for like a weekend trip to see my sister, just chill out with her. My mom is like drank the like 2 4 pack like the my supply of Fago for in a weekend. And after that, my mom was like, I'll pay you back for the Fago. And I'm like, you know what? No. No, I'm not buying any more Fago. I'm not buying any more soda. We don't need more soda. That was my wake up call. I'm like, I don't need to drink all this. Can we I can feel my mind just melted like cheese on the bread because of easy dopamine on the internet. Yo, that's real. I hate the internet. I literally hate the internet. Took me so long to quit soda. Soda is so, it's so hard to like. Soda's just like the perfect thing to have on any meal. You can't just like quit. It's like you can't just quit soda. It's like quitting water. And also, I hate people that says I love drinking water because I'm like, you're not cool. You're not disciplined. You're just lame. You want a reason to brag, and that reason is not fun. That reason is not cool. I like water. Like, oh man, I hope you like breathing. I bet you like breathing too. It's like, oh man, I like water and cold showers, and I like eating oatmeal. I make my oatmeal with water and not milk. No milk. I like the blandness of oatmeal. I like grits. No butter, just the grits. Soda is great because you get to consume something super satisfying slowly, and it's cheap per glass. But you think fewer to an hour does it matter? Yeah. Oh yeah, I said this like yesterday about me going out to a bar because I wanted to I wanted to be a part of the greater community which is in my area. And no, I don't think I'm ever gonna go to a bar again. I don't think it was like a bad experience, but I'm like, I don't think bars are my scene. I think because there's a lot like I've been consuming a lot of quote unquote. I got a present. What the heck was that present? I got one gift on TikTok. Thank you for the gift. I don't know who gifted me that. I got one diamond. Thank you for the diamond. Thank you for the diamond. But yeah, I am not into bars. Yeah, you know what? It's like, I remember I was at this one bar, and I was at this one bar. I went there because there was a trivia night, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I can, find a reason to go out and probably meet people. Have like I went specifically because there was like a trivia night, and I like going to places where there is a goal, a motive, something that people can do together, right? And when I walked in that bar, I noticed that it was just white people there, and I'm like, I'm not really that concerned about like the genetic makeup of like the area that I'm at, but I just noticed that was like one of the first thing that I noticed, and I was like, okay, that's fine, that's interesting, taking note. And the first thing of trivia that was going on was the American Civil War questions, right? And like it was kind of fun. I couldn't really participate because I didn't have any Wi-Fi. I didn't have internet out there. It was kind of out in a newly developed area that didn't have like the media towers for me to sign up. So I was just like playing by myself. I was just playing along. And I noticed that everybody got like the Civil War questions right, but what the one question everybody got wrong was how many slaves were freed after the Civil War, and that was kind of funny to me. That will always be something so funny to me. It makes sense because I also didn't know, but it was really funny how like seeing everybody get the questions like, what was the bloodiest battle in the American Civil War? Who was the first president that was able to show on televised television? Well, like, and like stuff like that. But when it came to like how many slaves were free, they're like, I don't know. I don't know. I was like, yeah, true. Understandable. I don't mean nothing by it. I just thought it was pretty funny. I've never in my life gone to a bar. Those are for people who don't have a question, need to build wealth and avoid new people. You can socialize with me. We can go behind a Denny's in Spyro Fantasia. Yeah, I'll fight dirty. I'll go into I'll like reach into the garbage and throw like half-eaten pancakes at you. I'll throw a banana peel on the floor. You're just gonna slip on the ground, and after you slip on the ground, that's when I'm gonna make my escape. I reach into the garbage of Denny's, pull out grapes, like smell like rotten grapes. I gather the uneaten grapes. I just start like pelting it at you. I'm like throwing like grapes and like watermelon and fruit seeds at you like machine guns, and you're like, ah! I slide a pancake, a half-eaten pancake under your feet. You take one step forward and you just slip over, and I make my escape. I'm gone. I fight with the resources. I use my environment. I'm I'm spatially aware, and that's how I win that fight. Sketch is gonna back me up. Sketch got the getaway car ready. You can shoot my cactus seeds. The little pepper, Pigmarin in the clouds. For real. Wait. PTA Marin. Who says Sketch wouldn't be on my side? Well, Sketch has been on my streams every time I stream. You haven't. I win. Sketch comes into my streams every time I stream, so I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident. Besides, I have the spatial awareness. As if that matters. And I'm gonna make it matter. The stream sounds like stream sounds like what iCarly does on a Tuesday. I stream sounds like yeah, I stream sounds like what iCarly does on a Tuesday. Oh yeah, when I came back from Seattle, I did not know like how beautiful that freaking state is. Like the city and like Seattle is so Washington is a beautiful state. Like Seattle is such a beautiful city. No lie. Like that was like I was there like last week. Have you been to Vermont? No, I've been to Montreal though. I think that's like the only place in Canada that I've actually been to. Wait, no, Vermont's not in Canada. I'm stupid. I've not been in Vermont. Why did I think it was a place in Canada? I don't know. I'm stupid. Wait, hold up. No, wait, hold up. No, wait, I'm not stupid. Oh, Vermont's like up there. I don't know my geography. I think it's kind of funny how everybody makes like a thing. Everybody makes like a thing of like you, Americans don't know geography, and I'm like, why should we? Literally, why? I'm just a peasant. I make comics. I will make note of things outside of the US unless I really need to. Unless it's important to like what I'm trying to write. I remember last year or so. There was like one viewer that found it so funny that I just did not know geography, and I'm like, yeah, why would I? Literally, why would I know about geography? If I was like in Europe, yeah, I would understand like why people in Europe would know a little bit more about geography, because literally if you step like that one meme, if you like go 1 mile to in one direction, you'll end up in a different state. You'll end up in a different country. State, yeah, you'll end up in a different like country. If it was like that in America, then yeah, I would understand like why it's important to know geography. But America's just not like that. America's just like big. It's a lot of land. And you really don't need to like go to a different state if you don't want to. You can live forever in one state. Honestly, I like the way that I learn about new countries is by running ads on YouTube, not running ads on like Facebook on Meta ads, and looking at and like setting the delivery to worldwide, and seeing like what countries like actually interact with the ad. And I always find like new countries that I've never heard before, that I just had no ideas. There are so many places I want to see in the U.S., but I would need like 50 trips: the Everglades, the Redwoods, Grand Canyon, the coast, the Yellowstone, the Vault, Fallout Town Springs, Nevada, the Florida Keys, and more, and more. Dude, I like TikTok's been giving me a lot. Speaking of like traveling, TikTok's been giving me more like Chinese, um, Chinese videos saying how like China's like the best place to live now. And I'm not gonna say like, yo, what's up with this Chinese propaganda, right? I'm just saying I don't really know. Being chilling. Like I've been to China like once, like 2019, right? And I'm just saying, I wouldn't mind going back there just to see what's up. Because like right now, I'm getting really tired of America. Not gonna lie, I'm getting pretty weary. Like I want to feel patriotic, but it's kind of hard. I don't know. It's really tough. It's really tough. It's really tough. Valid. It's like I wanna be like, yeah, I'm American. I love being an American, but I'm like lately for the past for the past I don't know, decade or so, I'm like, yeah. 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 In my opinion, it's a complete facade. China is a really well painted and lavendered, decomposing dog held up by perfectly held up perfectly by wires. Like you can be right. Like I'm not like arguing about that. I just don't know. I just don't know. I just haven't lived there. I visited, but I just haven't lived there. What the heck is this? X-Men Evil? No, it's not. Hold up. I'll put the Tekken Tag Tournament. Like, I don't know. It's I think like China is kind of like everything. Because like, yeah, you're gonna have like good places, and then you're gonna have not so good places. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just thinking out. I'm just thinking out loud. Where's the Yoshi? Is this Yoshimitsu? Oh my gosh. Well, it takes 9 songs to get to the Yoshimitsu song, and I want to listen to the Yoshimitsu song right now. No tongue, no body, no mind, no shape, no shape, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no shape, no shape. Like I don't know, man. Like if I ever get kicked out of my house, I don't even know if I would like stay in America. That's kind of like where I'm at. You should watch China Uncensored on YouTube. Any other guy, Sparta. Like the thing, like I've seen some of like China Uncensored around, and I'm like, like his coverage of China kind of feels like I don't know, man. Because it's like, yeah, those things are bad compared to what. Okay, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen Serpenza. So it's a super high level and somewhat clickbaity smart, so it just tells you how it is living it. Like that's what I'm more interested in. Like I don't care about the clickbaity stuff because like with the right framing, anything can be like clickbaity. You know what I mean? I'm like if I go like I'm more interested in like the content of like if I move to China tomorrow or what have you, like how would be my like day to day living? And I really oh my gosh. How would how would be like what would I expect living day to day in China for like a year? Also, China is like extremely racist. I forgot. I keep hearing that. Um, I don't think I don't. I really don't know. I don't know. I think also because I every time I'm like I'm on TikTok and somebody who's black talk about their experience in China, and and they're like, "Yo, it's so racist," and like their version of racism is like Chinese people just staring at them because they're not because they don't know how to act when like a black person is around, and I'm like, Yeah. I don't mean towards past people necessarily. I mean towards non-Chinese. They're extremely racist towards other Asians as well. Yeah, of course. Like that's what I understand. Like I'm not there to make I'm not there in China to necessarily make friends, I suppose. Even though that would be nice. That's probably gonna be like the biggest issue. Why not consider a place like Why not consider a place like Ireland? I think it's mostly because of the branding. And like I am a product. So here, Mason. Hey there, Ralph. How you doing? Hey there, Angels. How you doing? Also, since Angels Renaissance is here, check out Under God Volume One. Uh, $20 on his website. Buy it now. But anyway, let's see. Why not? I think it's mostly because like marketing. I just don't hear a lot about Ireland. I am a slave to the algorithm. If the algorithm shows me China, I'm like, you know what? Maybe China's cool. If the algorithm of like the internet shows me Ireland, I'll probably be thinking, maybe not Ireland. Maybe I will go to Ireland. I'm just a product of the algorithms. Yeah. Fair. Yeah. I am not immune to propaganda, and I'll be the first to admit it. YouTube honestly just owns my brain, not gonna lie. Yeah. Like, it's so wild how literally you hear it all the time to be mindful of what media you're consuming. And then we have things like TikTok and like YouTube shorts or reels where like we forfeit that consciousness of tuning in to like giving something our attention to the point that like the sheer amount of looking at of being exposed to whatever the algorithm thinks that we're going to interact with, like the amount of that is kind of incredible. It's a in the most negative way possible. It is insane. It is incredible in the most negative way possible that we just give over our attention, our emotion, our lines of thinking, our thought processes to an algorithm that is trying to bait us 110% of the time. And and I'm a product of it because I see how it's how I can because I see how it can possibly make me money. And that's how it is. I mean, it's a boomer take. I feel like that's a boomer take at this point, but still, it's still valid. It's still valid. In like 20 years, people are going to be horrified. We gave smartphones and tablets to our children. Like how much time we spend on ours. No, yo. Like, I'm chilling with a friend. I've been chilling with a friend, and the other night he said that his brother let his son watched Fix with him, and I'm like, that's insane. And like my friend has like like his nephew lives with them, and he's like 3 years like 2 3 years old, and they like give him tablets. They give him like all these different devices because nobody's bothered to like to entertain the kid, right? And I'm like, that's insane. That's so insane. Like I don't think I would give my kid like a phone until he's like 20, until he's like 18. You know what I mean? I don't care if his friends think he's weird. I'm not gonna buy him a phone. I'll give him like a very restricted phone. I don't care if that'll make him like a like shunned from his friends. I'd be like, learn to be an outcast. You're, like these people that are gonna make fun of you, you're never gonna see them ever again. You're not. They're not gonna be they're not gonna be there, like in like 5 years. Like since it's high school or whatever, you're not gonna see those people again in like 5 years. I know 5 years is gonna sound like a lot of time, but it's gonna go by. It's gonna go by real fast. And I notice that line of thinking, it doesn't make sense when you're a kid. When you're in the moment, when someone's, I remember when adults would tell me like, this is just high school. It's going to fly by, and like you're talking about it's so in a way it's really funny how like a fully grown adult is talking about like experiencing 20 years of being alive to a kid that's only been alive for like only been alive for like probably 15 to 15 years, and he can only remember like 10 of those years. You know what I mean? Like he can only remember like 10, maybe 10 of those years of being alive, and you're talking about 20, because you're at that point you're basically talking about an imaginary number, trying to explain something that doesn't exist. And I feel like that like idea gets lost on a lot of adults, and I just think they just say like that those years are gonna fly by because it's a platitude that adults told them. Become ungovernable. Make your algorithm only show show foot videos. Yeah, make them show things that only you. What's the point of being on the internet when you try to teach the algorithm to show you things that you hate? I think just like turn off the internet. Just turn off the channel. Let's turn off the internet. Change the channel. I'm not gonna lie, school was very useful for learning, socializing, and that's it. That's where I got most of my experience flirting, for example. Oh yeah, school was only fun just by socializing, and now I just don't. I can only socialize when there is an endpoint. That's kind of like how stunted I am. I can only socialize when I can imagine an endpoint. Like, I don't socialize to, like, pass time. And also, I don't really, like, flirt. And also, I don't really flirt with people. I think it's mostly because, like, I've been driven for a long time. To the point where I'm like, every time I see women, I'm like, yeah, I'm not trying to date at all. Cause like I first off, I'm broke. Yeah, I'm broke. I'm broke. I have no car, and I don't, and like that's, and if a girl's trying to pursue me, despite me being broke and having no car, then I'm like, sure, I'll give her a chance, but I'm not really I'm not going after anybody. I'm trying to practice small talk. Talking to people on the elevator about the weather. It works really well, and they're always happy to talk to somebody. I'm also surprised when it works, but it works every time. Oh yeah. Honestly, the one thing that I've heard, the one advice I heard that never fails generally, is that the most interesting people are interested. Hey, hey guys, news flash. I read how to win friends and influence people. Oh wait, no, that was 40 laws of power. That was 48 laws of power or whatever. But literally, it's, you just ask people questions. You just ask their opinion, open-ended questions. No yes or no questions. It's both of them. Yeah, it's in both. Okay, yeah. So it's just asking open-ended questions. No yes or no. And literally, everybody wants to have their opinions heard about something. And if you're just there saying, "Oh yeah, I thought about that too," it's like what you said. Da 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 da. They're just gonna find you interesting. because they reflect themselves upon you, and they think since you're interested in the same thing that they're interested in, like they're gonna find you interesting because they see themselves in you. That's usually how it goes. People are so self-censored. It's not even a negative thing. It's just knowing how it works. What if I, yeah? What if after getting your ass, after kicking your ass in the Denny's parking lot, I proposed? That presumes that you win after after I win in our fight. That presupposes that I lose at our fight. So that's a that's not what they call false economy. But that presupposes something that will never happen. So I'm sorry. I mean, I used to only engage in deep conversations basically, but I realized that it gets tiring after others quickly that I learned that the very important social role that small talk is that so that now I realized that it gets tiring for others quickly, and I learned that the very important social role that small talk has. So now I embrace it fully and no longer think it's stupid at all. Looking gay coordinate. Man. You know what? That's also true. You know what's funny? I remember when I was out in Texas for DreamCon. Every time I would tell somebody that I was a writer, everybody would tell me like their story. Everybody, like people would tell me like an idea that they had for a story as if I was going to write it for them. And I always like I don't take that as like a negative thing, right? Because it really I see stories as like people trying to it's kind of like a therapy in a way, like people trying to understand like their way of thinking. Because like when somebody shares their story or somebody wants to share an idea that they have, they're trying to portray like their philosophy on they're trying to share their philosophy on the world around them. So that's why I listen. That's why I find it interesting. But not everybody being a philosopher, wanting to be a philosopher, or find philosophy interesting. That's something that I haven't that I haven't experienced yet. Because everybody kind of has like a chip on their shoulder about the world around them that they want to express. But I can also see how philosophical talk can tire people out. I used to be an adventurer like you, but then I took an arrow to the knee. Real. By the way, did you know that it took an arrow to me is a Scandinavian expression for saying a Scandinavian expression where you propose? That makes a lot more sense. That makes that entire meme make a lot more sense. Like I used to be an adventurer like you, but then I decided to get married. That's very sweet. But yeah, everyone has their story, and they love you. They love you if you let them tell it, especially if you listen without judging. Oh yeah. And even though I love judging people, like how I love judging how Foley's whack fighting style will not win him in a fight. I see how he throws. I see how Foley throws punches. I see how he throws punches, and it's not impressive. I see how you throw punches, Foley. You're not gonna win. It's you're not, but other than that, I don't really judge, except for how Foley fights. It's not impressive. I don't like it. I'm not impressed. Okay. Oh wait, there was another person that's supposed to be over here. I forgot to draw them. Yeah, but this is literally why I like streaming while I draw. Because I don't like if I wasn't streaming, I would be like listening to like podcasts. And that the only purpose of doing that is that I won't be in my head. I wouldn't like talk I wouldn't be in my head thinking about like why doing what I do is kind of pointless. And it's like bouncing off of my ideas with other people. It's worth it. My children grow up, shows like new shows. Wait, when my children grow up, some news anchor is going to get exposed to a massive, fur, exposed as a massive furry when they were young, and have to explain, and we'll have to explain what was to them. Yeah, true. The digital footprint thing is gonna be so weird. It's gonna be so weird. I think we'll be at a point where I think even kids would know like what that is, and they'll probably be like, "Oh yeah, you were a furry. This guy was a furry. Oh yeah, I know what that is." Then depending what sector of the internet they're from, they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, furries, right?" Or they're gonna be like, "Ew, furries, degenerate, gross." I'm pretty sure kids would already know what that would be. Yeah, man, podcasts and YouTubes are like awesome for plugging in up the mind. But I've personally been doing it for so long I can't not think anymore, and I need to quit everything for a few days at a time to process my life. True, truth nuke. I'm really sorry for your internal dial. I'm really sorry for. I'm sorry your internal dialogue is so negative like that. I really feel for you there. Yeah, yeah, it's kind of because I remember I was in a conversation with with my friend, and he was telling me like, where do you see yourself in like 5 years? And I responded to him like the same, like my answer was the same like 5 years ago. I see myself making comics, having this thing working out, and probably having a girlfriend or a wife or whatever. And that didn't happen in like the within like the last 5 years of figuring that out. And here I am saying in the next 5 years I'll probably but maybe the next 5 years, that'll happen. You know what I'm saying? So it was just I've been working for 5 years for something that I discovered that it's way more tricky than I thought. Why not start doing the comic for yourself and yourself alone, or would that lose all, or would that lose you all motivation? I mean, that was the start of the comic. The start of my comic was for myself, but I also have to like find a way to get paid, you know. And if I wanted to like write these comics for my, if I want to write these comics for myself, then I kind of don't need to write it. I've already written one book, and writing one novel is more than like what the majority of people on this planet have done when it comes to writing anything or illustrating anything or promoting anything, right? Like, because I remember I was in a conversation with a fellow comic creator, and I was saying like how I wanted to expand like what I want to do with this comics, and then I remember he said, "When is it going to be enough? Like, you have a comic done, you made motion comics, you had people like gather around to like voice the characters of your comic because they just believed in like what the story that you had to tell. You're going around like selling the comics, making money. It's not, yeah, sure, it's not the amount of money that you want, but now you're just going like making games or trying to like make a TV series out of it. And how much is it? How much are you gonna do until you realize that it's enough, right? Because like for a lot of people, just having one comic is like their goal. Writing one novel is their goal, and I think I kind of went past. And when I kind of thought about that, I realized that I'm kind of past that point of making something for myself. Because if I want to make something for myself, like I can just journal. You know what I mean? Like I don't need to put a bunch of effort of drawings and write and like hone my craft into writing characters and scenarios and all this stuff just for me to put up on my shelf and have nobody else look at it. Because art is meant to be seen and shared with as many people as possible, right? I believe what I make is art. Not just illustrations, not just visuals, not just media or entertainment. I feel like this is art. Because I want people to understand, like, or get closer to understanding, like, the reality of the world around them and be connected to, like, a higher self, a higher consciousness, God, right? Christ, right? And, like, if I'm doing something for and, like, to do all this for myself, I'm like, why would I do that? I can just write novel. I can just like write this, write in this, right in here. If I want to like get those ideas out, I can just like write it down, and I don't have to like tell anybody. So that's why I'm against of like making something for myself. I don't make something for myself. I make something so I don't self-destruct, right? I don't make to be better. I don't make for myself. I make so I don't self-destruct. That's kind of the thing. And it doesn't even like I don't have to make things that are just strictly for the comic anymore, because I can just like probably like do commissions till I'm tired of it. And I can just do other things till I'm tired of it, right? But the problem is when like in a professional level, not a lot of people are like hiring people with my credentials, right? And that's like another nepotism thing. Oh yeah. Anyway, why not? Sorry, the comic for yourself. Okay, right. Oh man, what you said about 5-year plan really lit a fire under my ass. Yeah, I'm not saying. I'm not saying not to sub. I'm saying you can write it for yourself so you don't get disappointed when you don't get enough YouTube comments or appreciation. And I'm pretty sure um, I can write something and like somehow somebody the YouTube recommends it to somebody and that can like help them realize like the issues in their life. So like something that I make can help probably make someone else's life like better. Like that'd be cool. That's cool, right? But I have to live in reality and not just like what ifs. I can't live off of like proverbial people that might stumble upon my works. This is really a Star Wars poster-esque cover. Oh yeah, it really is. I wanted to get in. I had like different ideas for covers. Give me a sec, if I, so I can like pull them up. Give me a second. I had different ideas for covers. Let me see if I can show it. Here we go. Da 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 da. Here we go. Yeah, these are like the four covers that I did. Because every time I like make a cover, I like to make four different variants and like try to see like which is like the best. I usually do a poll. Like like this one obviously won out because it just everybody just unanimously agreed that this one was like the most appealing thumbnail design. Thumbnailing is a godsend, yeah. Like every time I thumbnail a cover, like I show it to other people and they think it's cool. Everybody thought this was just perfect, I guess, because like very few people chose B or C or D. Like if anybody chose anything, they chose D. Outside of A, it was like D. And the idea that I had for D, it would have like you would see Lucifer posing in front, Beelzebub behind, and then like glass cracking. It was either glass cracking or just like kind of like the framing between like the veins of a fly, and then it would have like characters between like in the negative spacing, or you could say like mirror cracks, and they would have like characters like the faces of characters between like inside like the mirrors. Maybe you could do a second round of thumbnails where you pull with two new variations of the winner. I'm pretty much a one and done type of guy. Like that would make sense if I had like I don't know. No, I'm pretty much a one and done type of guy. I just don't really see the point in that. I think making four variants is enough. Let me see what. Let me see the thing. Where did I put it? And besides, like, are you sure you're an artist? You're oddly productive. I have two sides. I have a business side, and I have an artistic side. I really feel like I have two people in my head because I can like separate like what makes art good, what I like about art, and I can understand like I can think about things like in a business sense, right? And what makes sense of how I can like use my time efficiently, how I can use my time efficiently, how I can use other people efficiently, or how I can figure out how to scale what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And I can completely separate both of that to the point where if I'm around other artists, they usually hate me. That's usually my what a pattern that I notice every time when I'm around a group of artists and money is involved, they hate me. Yeah, I hate you, right? I can really empathize with that. The business one also tends to sound like really ruthless, and I try to shield that from my friends. Yeah, I hate you, right? True, true, true. Sometimes I hate myself. Not really. Well, sometimes I don't really. Well, that's a mouse. That's a mouse. Like I can empathize with that. The business, when okay, try to shield that for your friends, because you can just quickly tell if something will sell. I mean, I think the only thing that will sell that's a guaranteed sell is if you have a brand behind it. If someone wants to come to me and say like, "Yo, Mason, like, what's like? I want to make like a comic that sells. How like what am I supposed to do?" And I my only thing, my guarantee thing to tell them is just have somebody famous to back you. Have somebody with a following that will that will vouch for you, who will tell their audience that they vouch for you. You know, I think most people understand what I think I'm I know I think most people understand what's what, but they just don't want to take the responsibility of making the business decisions. Yeah. Like my fallout with um like a an what was it? An indie manga guy. It was basically about different philosophies of how somebody would should take their business, and like neither of us were wrong. Um, like I said, it's the same guy that basically came down to money. It's because I didn't have like his following that like he could never take my ideas seriously. I didn't have any credentials. I didn't have a following. I couldn't flash money. I wasn't flashy. So my ideas didn't really make sense. Like the idea that I was working on like four different comics at the same time. He didn't even like that. Um but even though that helped me tell like different types of stories, that like pushed me forward like artistically, because I'm not stuck trying to draw one thing. I'm drawing like separate things, telling separate stories, knowing and tying all these things kind of in finishing projects, right? He didn't like that. Um it's a double entendre. My ideas don't make sense. Yeah, my ideas didn't that's a double entendre. My ideas didn't make sense. Yeah. He didn't like my ideas because it didn't make sense to him. And I just couldn't really vibe. Just couldn't really vibe. And that was pretty much annoying, but it kind of is what it is. And I remember I had a falling out in his Discord server because I was talking about like newsletter, like having a newsletter. Get like it's a good idea to have a newsletter if you're trying to like be a figure on the internet. It's a good idea to have a newsletter because so you won't be beholden to any platform. And I got ridiculed in that community because I was thinking about getting money. I was not thinking about improving my art. I wasn't thinking about, yeah, they like I was not like they thought I wasn't even thinking about like improving my art. They wasn't thinking about how I could get better as like a writer or an artist or what have you. And they still like and they ridiculed me because I didn't have a following. And because I didn't have a following, they thought I was bad. They thought that my art was bad and the stories I tell was bad. Internet people think newsletters are lame and boomer vibe. They work though. Like for what I've heard, I wouldn't even say it works, right? I wouldn't even say like they work. I would say it makes way more sense to have a hub. Like I'm not even yeah, it makes more sense to have a hub where you are not going to be beholden to an entity that might die off or shadow ban you tomorrow. Yeah, I'm not saying they're right. Yeah, true. Yeah. Makes sense. It makes sense to own your audience. Like yeah, and that's like the main thing. People who are like, no, I don't like that's a lot of the internet people said like they don't like the idea of newsletters, and I'm like, you're so cooked, dude. That's why I want to eventually make my own shop outside of Etsy. Yeah. And I'm not even saying like forget about like social media or anything. I just said like it makes sense to have your own audience. It makes a lot of sense to have your own audience. But and like trying and like not only to have your own audience, but to find ways to monetize your audience. And everybody thought that I was like all about the money, and I'm like, dog, what are we doing here? What are we do? What are we doing here, dog? What are we doing here? You know. But like I said, that aforementioned guy, he is getting a lot of attention and a lot of business because of his YouTube channel, because he was able to make a personality around whatever his interests are, and I just wasn't, and I just don't know how to do that. My interests are the comics that I make. I don't care about a lot of movies. I don't care about a lot of manga or other media. I mostly don't care about it. The things that I like, most people don't care about. And when you try to make things that you care about on YouTube, it doesn't do well. There's a reason why like indie things don't do well. They people because people aren't looking for them. YouTube came and people forgot platforms are massive unusual luxury. Yeah, people forget that if you want to, as soon as you want to make videos about things that you are interested in, like no, YouTube is about growing on YouTube is about talking about popular people's places or things, and it's so rare for somebody to literally broadcast make a following broadcasting themselves. YouTube's original slogan. Like, hey guys, I just saw the new Superman movie. Hey guys, I just saw this. Hey guys, we gotta talk about the newest game. Hey guys, let's check out this product. And it sucks. It sucks. It sucks. Like, what do you gotta do about it, right? Did you just hear what Trump's literally? Like political content is a killing. Ranking every ginger by yeah, true. Just gave you a warning for saying that. I'm gonna give you a warning for saying that. And that's why you're not a mod. I know when someone's going to use power. I can spot that a mile away. Where did I put my where did I put my comic? Where did I put just dude? I'm livid. I am livid. Oh yeah. Also, I don't even expect. Oh yeah, I like after this, I'm probably gonna make another cover for Chimera Island. Because right now, this is what the cover of Chimera Island is. Wait, yeah. This is the cover of Chimera Island. And I want to do another print that adds like the thumbnails to the back of the book. And I want to change the cover to have like the actual characters. The reason why I had like a behind the world map on the wall in the safe. Yeah. Yeah. I want to like do a different cover for this for Chimera Island because when when I was making it, I was self-conscious that people probably wouldn't like the animal characters. But now I'm like I'm over it. I'm over that. Where is it? Like, where the heck is it? Where the heck it? I thought I already had it. Dude, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's super weird. I literally had it on my person. Did I drop it on the floor? This makes no sense. Yo, what the heck? What happened to it? Did it drop? Huh. It went to the nether world. To the nether realm. Oh, wait, never mind. Found it. You're forgetting to call upon the power of the midichlorians to show the way. No, I found it. I literally forgot how one character looked. Oh yeah, there was like a light spoilers, but I probably will forget to put it in here. I remember I wanted like an arc where this girl would date this guy right here, and like they eventually break up because the guy forgot her name. Like they're dating, but like they broke up because the guy forgot her name. Like that happened to one of my friends, and I thought that was so funny that I wanted to like reference that. When you cheat, always date girls with the same name. That's what I learned from Asmongold's dad. Well, first things first, you gotta find girls with the same name. But I get it. I get you. That helps. I remember this character was like a fashion design. Like she liked designing clothes. Like she would make her own clothes. And I kind of based that off of like a middle school friend that I had who really liked sewing and making like accessories to her own clothes. So I was like, yeah, maybe this girl likes to make likes to make her own clothing. But jokes aside, my names are hard, man. I used to mess it up all the time, but now I say their name in my head before I speak to make sure. Oh yeah, every time I meet a new person, I say their name several times. It's a rule of power. It's a law of power. This girl looks like she would be a Steven Universe fan. 41st law of power. Don't ADHD. 41st law of power. Get autism. No, I no ear. It feels so hard to make any original characters now because it feels like everything has already been done. Every archetype. Well, that's the wrong way to go about it. Honestly, first things first. That's the wrong way to go about it. But let me finish the whole thing. So hard making original characters now because everything feels like an archetype that already been done, and every character archetype that's going is way too unique. It gets you nowhere. Wait, and going way too unique gets you nowhere because no one likes it. Yeah, your answer, like your solution isn't your answer. Stop trying to be unique. The reason why people like archetypes because everybody sees themselves in archetypes. That's why what? That's why I really want to say tarot cards, but I'd be speaking about things I don't know anything about. But that's the best way I can explain it is like in this game Persona, like every side character that you meet is basically a different card, a different archetype, a different like yeah, a different archetype in a whatchamacallit, in those tarot cards. And like those tarot cards are basically different like kinds of people that you meet across your journey. And everybody that you know will basically be a different archetype. Is a different archetype. That's why personality tests are so popular, because everybody wants to kind of affirm what kind of person they are, or discover what kind of person they are. Horoscopes, that's the right thing. That's why people love horoscopes, because every horoscope has a different character archetype that a lot of people, mostly women, like to discover. Mostly women like to discover horoscopes to see what kind of person that they are compatible with, or how they will deal with other people. People get drunk on personality tests from confirmation bias. Yeah, and stories play to the character archetypes, because the whole point of a story is basically to have the audience to relay a message to the audience from how somebody can get from point A from an argument to point B using these type of different character archetypes and arguments, right? Having an argument and having every different character a different perspective of that argument. So that's why I say it's a bad idea to try to create something originally new, because people don't gravitate to something that is new, to something that's unfamiliar, because people want to watch stories to see how they can reflect it with their lives and how they can take out of it. Like I said earlier, of how people like use stories to understand their relation to the world around them. One time a girl asked me what month I was born, and I didn't have one. She said, "Really?" I said, "Yes." She was trying. Yeah, I think it's like just making conversation. Yeah, I don't really knock it. Like people who are interested in that kind of stuff, because it's literally people trying to figure out like how to interact with people, or people to interact with. Embrace cringe. I had to look up how she looked. I low key forgot how she looked, how her eyes looked. I was kind of right. Kind of right. I used to read tarot. It's fun, but it makes people think about things from a lens they've been neglecting to use, whether it's intentional or not. No magic involved. It's just a form of mindfulness that can work for some people. It's super normal to want to caress your brain's anxiety towards the chaos of normal life. Well, wait, hold up. I'm going to use no magic, no, just a form of mindfulness that can work for some people. I think if tarot had like a better marketing, and it just wasn't like populated by people that use it as like some sort of occult understanding of the world around them, like I'm pretty sure like way more like religious people would try it out, but I don't think they would. I don't think they will, just because like the history is already cemented. It's super normal to want to caress your brain's anxiety towards the shoot. Gotta look at what that said. Look at what that said. Da, 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 da. Dude, if everybody if YouTube had the I'm streaming on YouTube as well, and if people on YouTube were as like adamant like or active as people on Twitch, I probably would already have like YouTube I would probably already have YouTube what should they call it? Monetization at this point. I feel like I would have had YouTube monetization at this point. The people everybody met up on YouTube and not Twitch. But it is what it is. But it's not like I'm getting any like people are donating anyway. So it's just kind of funny. It's super normal to want to caress your brain's anxiety towards the chaos of life, using anything as a system. Not to blame them for it. Everyone wants structure. Accepting chaos takes a ton of thought and pain. Yeah, I wouldn't say accepting chaos, because there is like the world works off a structure. And the reason why we know the world works off a structure is because we have science. And the reason why we have like the scientific revolution is because of those scientists believe that a lot of those scientists believe that God created everything with a purpose. And when something has a purpose, it has a structure, you know? This is going off a scientific revolution, the revolution and whatnot. So like, yeah, there is some sort of like chaos to it, but it is like it's only chaos when you don't think about it. And then you have philosophers that like make sense, that like try to make sense of everything around it. I usually go on these rants, but like I remember like one meme that I will hate till the day that I die. I think it's like dead now because a lot of people kind of know better. Is like when people say like you would see like in shows they try to have a dichotomy of like science versus religion, and I'm like that's retarded. That is like the dumbest dichotomy I have ever heard. Because it's just mostly because it's ahistorical. Like, modern science would not be what it is without religion. And the only reason why science is seen like an atheistic thing, like the literal definition of an atheistic thing, is because a lot of the famous scientists want to play philosopher, which is outside of their field. Take it your Richard Dawkins, your Neil deGrasse Tysons, your so on and so forths. And when you actually like listen, have like actual philosophers talk like replying to like what their thoughts on their philosophical discoveries, their scientific philosophical takes on their scientific discoveries. A lot of philosophers would just call them sophomoric, would just call them stupid. Oh, sorry, my belief system, atheism, doesn't have a cradle like that below me. In my world, chaos is waiting just outside the door, and society is the only thing keeping it out. There's chaos in society. Hard science versus theoretical is hard science versus theoretical and soft science. What is hard and soft science? What are we talking about? Water? Hard and soft water? Okay. Oh, yeah. My world chaos, it's just outside, in the door, and in society is the only thing keeping it. Yeah, that, like, no. I meant to say theologian, not theoretical. Not I think he like theoretical. Theologian. Hard science versus theologian and soft science. Okay. Okay. I still don't really understand what that means. But in society is one thing, keep it at. Like, the one thing... Oh, wait, also, that feels like bait for arguing, the hard versus soft thing. Yeah, because I don't really understand... I don't really understand what that means. Like, I honestly don't really understand what that means. Like, hard science versus soft science. Religion is the building block of civilization, regardless of your belief system. Yeah. That is true. Truth nuke. Truth nuke. Hard science leads to chemistry. Chemistry. Okay. Okay. Soft science leads to gender studies. I think I'm picking up on what you're saying. I think I'm picking up on what you're saying. I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yeah, like I really couldn't like trust society that is not like I think like it's kind of funny, I don't know. Like I really think atheism only works in a homogenous society. Well, just like with a lot of things. Well, a lot of beliefs can work will work best in homogenous societies. That's like a nothing. I can get when someone say like that can be a nothing statement, right? But what I mean by that is I remember like hearing in like different time in different like periods of time in different like civilization, if somebody was literally an atheist or outside the tribe, they would literally just be enslaved and inform and like be and take on the religion of that tribe. Because when you don't really assist, like I know back in olden time, we don't really subscribe to a religion. That is saying like you are a person without morals. Because you get into pointless arguing all the time. Yeah, okay. Because you get into pointless arguments all the time. Yeah, I get you. That's why I don't really argue that much. I don't really argue that much because I'm not around a lot of people. And also, a lot of formations of arguments just really comes from like not understanding, not wanting to understand the other person, either failing to communicate or just not wanting to understand, like getting your own voice out. And it's like understandable. I want to see you debate David Cage. You know what? I think we're gonna. I like to think that I might beef with David Cage, but but because I think I might beef with David Cage, we might get together and become really good friends. It's like I literally. I will like. I think I will say this until like he makes another game, and that's completely garbage. But I will say this till like the day. I will defend that like after playing Detroit Become Human, David Cage is a good writer. He just has bad ideas. Like that's all I can really say. David Cage is a great writer. He just has bad ideas. And I can see his skill of writing just progressing and getting better by like every game that he plays. I can see the craftsmanship of his writing skill and his style and like the dynamic ways of like his storytelling. I can sense that he is a he is a good craftsman of storytelling. He just has bad ideas. He just has bad like I think in every scenario that he had in like Detroit Become Human, I can see I look at it and I'm like I can see what he's putting down. I can understand how a character can like go from point A to point B. I can see that development of their thinking and like what leads them to doing X, Y, and Z, and what he wants to say with this kind of character progression, right? The characters and their scenario, it makes sense, and I can relate it to people that I have talked to or seen or experienced in reality, and that's what makes it so good and propelling. That just shows that he's a good writer. He's a good craftsman. But his ideas are bad. But I think yeah, David Hitch and I will disagree on a whole bunch of things. I can agree. Having a productive argument with a partner is extremely hard. There's no shot. Okay, having a productive argument with a partner is extremely hard. There's no shot. There's no shot you can have one on the internet. That requires tons of patience and empathy and openness. Christian conservatives values hard science more than soft sciences. Yeah. Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Oh yeah, I can tell you from firsthand. Just having like a productive having a productive friend and productive partner. We get into a lot of arguments, and a lot of those arguments almost ended with like us just not talking to each other again. So it does take a lot of patience. And you know me, if I want to like call something quits, I'll just call it quits. Like I can stick out a lot of things. Yeah. Arguing is correctly is so hard. I'm constantly trying to learn how to argue better and better to so they understand where we are on the same side. I'm not trying to win, but to reach a more developed truth. That supposes the other person cares about the truth. That begs the question that if the other person like really cares about the truth. because I remember when I was younger, I used to watch a lot of like Christian versus atheist debates, and I thought that was like that would be a good tool for me to discover like what will get help me get to the more true, like closer to the truth. But now that I'm older, I realize like those debates are really dumb and a waste of time because they're just two people debating on two completely separate sides of reality. Where you like one side would say like they both would speak English, but they would just talk over each other because they wouldn't know what they mean. And if they don't care about the truth and they're just trying to win, yeah, that's a yeah. Mm-hmm. You can just expose them real easy by pointing out that they're going in circular reasons nonstop. So the root of all debates is emotion. Yeah, people are emotional and like intellectual beings. A lot of the times, people they have an emotional bias on something and they back that up with an intellectual reason. And it's not really something that you can do as a person. There's nothing that you can do as a person to like get them to see that. That's something that they have to understand by themselves. And if they have, and if they're in an environment that fosters that kind of thinking, and if that really matters to them. I've seen hundreds of Christian atheist debates. Maybe a handful were good faith and fair. A lot of them, it's not really about, yeah, for me it's not really about being in good faith. I think it's more about it's not moving. My problem with Christian atheist debates is that they're not really moving the needle anywhere. They're two people like debating two different sides of reality, two completely different perspectives of reality, where debate, I feel like, to the point that it's not even productive. I think a more productive debate is like two people that marginally agree with each other, but they differ on how to get there, how to get to a better outcome. Right? That makes a more interesting debate because there's a lot more agreement of fundamental realities. So people won't be either talking in circles or just mentally jerking themselves off about how smart because of how smart they are. Like using that time to understand like what is the best approach of action to a universal problem. That's why I'm saying good faith, because what I mean is that the interpretations of the candidate go outside of their world belief, extending an olive branch. Right, okay. That's why, because what I mean is like the interpretations. Extending an olive branch. What do you mean by that? Man, nobody on TikTok wants to talk. What the heck, dude? I might as well stop streaming on TikTok since nobody cares. Since nobody on TikTok cares. Receive 30 more likes to unlock your next reward. What are you talking about? Receive 30 more likes. What are you talking about? Oh, who cares? Who cares? And now, I don't care about your TikTok and awards. To extend an olive branch means to understand that someone thinks differently, to and to understand their thinking, and to act in a way that takes it into account. So, like a king invading a nation of Turks would extend an olive branch if he is saluted with the right hand instead of the left. Okay. He would be okay. Yeah, I remember. I was like, back when I was listening to a lot of like apologetics. There was a debater, he's an old debater guy. I remember he said like back in the old days, debates used to mean something. Before the time of the internet, debates used to mean something, and like before you go on a debate, you would do research. You would spend months researching the topic and trying to find like every angle like your opponent would come at you with, and then you would like find rebuttals and rebuttals to where that rebuttals. It was like and debates were like an entire event. But now with the internet, right? It's not that anymore. It's just blood sport. It's just entertain. It's just another source of entertainment. Funny enough, extend the olive branch comes from the Bible. Yeah, it is a very influential. It is a very influential collection of books. The internet has made everything surface level, and I hate it. Yeah, yeah, and here I am trying to make money from it, and here I am, and I'm pretty bad at it. But I guess it's you got people doing like the what do they call it, the NPC meme, like just like begging donations and begging for money, e-begging, and here I am. Probably I should e-beg more. I don't know. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I'm just hating because like I'm not e-begging enough. Maybe that's my fault. Maybe that's my fault. Do NPCs get get to defraud the government and evade tax? Because I've never seen one file a tax form in a video game, and if so, sign me up. Oh, do you know what I mean by like the NPC meme? Like the NPCs on TikTok. Yes, I know what you mean. Oh, man, I hate that. Yeah, I hate. Actually, no, I'm not hate. I don't hate. I'm not a hater. I'm sure as soon as I get money, I'll just stop hating on everything. Dude, as soon as I get money from making comics, you're just going to see me make comics. I'm gonna be as soon as I start making like $400 a month from selling my books every month, you're going to see me live stream every single day, talking with the audience. And I'm just gonna be happy as a clam. And I'm gonna be so boring. I'm gonna be like, I don't hate anything because I'm good.
I'm happy, and that's all that matters to me.
As soon as I get that amount of money from like selling books, like passively, yeah, I'm a very unbothered person. Can't be asked. I can't be asked to hate. That being said, I loved when Kendrick said, "Now, no, let me say I'm the biggest hater." Hatred takes effort. I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know what they mean by that. Because I really hate a lot of things in Spirit. You know? And it's because that I hate those things. I just actively avoid them. Who, Kendrick? It was a diss track song. No, just like the sentiment of like, yeah, just don't hate. I'm like, you know what? No. Hatred and gossip is what keeps us alive. That's what it feels like. It's very primal. I hate how certain things are like popular. Like, and I feel like it's very apathetic. Like, I don't think apathy is like a good thing to feel for a lot of things. It's just very situational. I know if I wasn't like a Christian, if I wasn't a believer in Christ, I think I'd be so apathetic to a lot of things. I'd be a sociopath. I'd be apathetic to a lot of things. It'd be borderline sociopathic. And I'm not saying that like I believe in anything as a cope. It's mostly like a lot of things make sense for me to believe. It's not that I don't dislike things. I do. I just avoid them as best as I can. True. I can have hated, but I just remove myself quickly from the situation. But like water. Be like water, you know? Yeah, be water, my friend. Be water, my friend. I don't see a lot of kung fu movies, but I know what that is because of lo-fi hip hop remixes that loves to use that sample. This is a very movie-esque poster, huh? Yeah, I think this is. Yeah, I think this is fair. This is fair. I was just thinking. Sometimes when I look back and think, I think of like the girl to female, like the girl to female, the male to female ratio of like like a group cover. And I was like four girls, three girls, four guys. That's a good ratio. That's not bad. With Purgatory Academy. Like I always say, like at first I was like thinking Purgatory Academy is just for like it's like for guys and girls. The more girls, the more sales. Real. Real. Just like Will Smith, as Will Smith once said, I like pretty girls. In the words of Will Smith, I like pretty girls. And I think that's what a lot of people believe. That's what a lot of people think. The philosopher that is Will Smith. I like pretty girls. Hold on. Yeah, yeah. In the words of better men, women. Yes, I agree. Anyway, I think I've been streaming for way longer. I usually stream for like 3 hours. Let's see. I think I can call it a day for this stream. I've got a lot of progress done. I didn't even expect to draw this much. I was expecting to draw like for an hour. I didn't expect to get all of this done. And it's all because of everybody in the chat. And you. And you, Merlin. 2-0. And this is why I stream. Just to, like, talk to people. Have a run for Ealing, so I shall proceed to watch Korean draw hentai. Real. Understandable. And thank you for following. Anyway, y'all take care. I'm going to go on a walk, stretch my legs. Peace.